You know what, folks? I actually switched to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 as my primary phone on an international work trip to Milan recently. Now, while the Fold 6 is an incremental update in terms of hardware, there are frankly useful and fun features in terms of Galaxy AI features. So I'm going to be exploring all of that in detail, how I use these AI features, how the hardware performed, in this video made in collaboration with Samsung. Hi, I'm Arshad. You're watching Trakin English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. Now, with respect to the design, I think that the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 is the best looking foldable phone out there. This squared off look is actually working for me, and I like this dual step camera module as well. The whole design and the construction of the phone is polished to perfection, and there are tight tolerances which is befitting of any flagship phone. It definitely oozes premium, and the biggest upgrade to the design itself is the reduced weight. It's the lightest Samsung Galaxy Z Fold phone till date, and it's very close to the weight of a candy bar flagship like the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So using it is actually much easier. There's Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection on the front and the rear as well. You know what? The hinge has also been fortified now, so you can open and close, and it feels sturdy and it feels reassuring as well. And this is one of the only book style foldables that you can actually open and use at extreme angles. I think it goes down to about 25 odd degrees, and it can go as low as about 170 to 173 degrees. Actually, maybe even more. Look at that. Also, Samsung has upgraded the IP rating to IP48 now, so you get water resistance, but you also get some amount of dust resistance now. And IP48 is a feature that's not available on any other foldable phone, which of course increases its durability and your conviction in buying a foldable as well. By the way, the other thing I noticed is that the edges can be slightly sharp. For the displays, firstly, the bezels around the display, the outer display, actually have been slimmed down. Therefore, you get slightly more screen estate and ever so slightly wider than the display on the Galaxy Z Fold 5. This makes typing using a keyboard better than the Galaxy Z Fold 5. Now, if you notice carefully, the crease on the Galaxy Z Fold 6, while you can still, notice it at certain angles, it has been reduced compared to the Galaxy Z Fold 5, and it's slightly less aggressive now. And that's because Samsung says that it has added enhanced layers to the display, which not only fortifies it, but also, reduces the size of the crease. And the other upgrade that Samsung has made is that you get LTPO tech on both the outer display and the inner display. And when we tested the LTPO display, it could go down to 24 Hz up to 120 Hz. You get HDR10 Plus support on both the outer display and the inner display, and YouTube and Netflix HDR support is also present. And the HDR gradation, if you look at it, is top class, and you also get a peak brightness of 2600 nits. But during my usage, I did notice that the inner tablet display did get slightly brighter than the outer cover display. Couple of more improvements that Samsung has made, again slight improvements, but they do make a difference when you use it daily, is that the haptic feedback has become tighter and slightly more responsive now. And the stereo speakers get extremely loud, they're rich, they get support for Dolby Atmos. Take a listen to it for yourself and let me know what you guys think. Alright, now before I move on to talk about the performance on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, this is probably the right time for you guys to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Do support our work. Now, internally, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 comes with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy, and you get 12 GB of LPDDR5X RAM type and anywhere between 256 and 1 TB of UFS 4.0 storage. Now, when we ran benchmarks on the phone, the Antutu and Geekbench scores, you can see them on your screen right now. Now, while these scores do not match up with the Candy Bar flagships with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 that we've tested, I'm glad that this phone doesn't heat up or throttle too much. Because in our Genshin Impact test, I got an average FPS of over 58 FPS, and the phone didn't heat up too much either. As you can see, this is after 30 minutes of gaming at highest graphics, 60 frames per second, the works. And one of the reasons for this is a larger vapor cooling chamber. And you know what? Ray tracing has also been improved, and in the future, when these games come in, it's gonna look good. But you know what I actually enjoyed more was playing GTA San Andreas on this open tablet style display. Also, what I realized with the performance tuning is that Samsung has tuned it to ensure that you do get maximum battery life out of the 4400 mAh battery inside the phone. On an average, I was getting anywhere between 5.5 hours to 6 hours of screen on time from the phone, which is actually pretty decent. Another point I must definitely note is that the network performance was stellar for me. So I've used the phone in India and in Italy, and both the places the 5G performance was actually very good. In fact, I used my Indian SIM as primary, and I used one of those mobile-based eSIMs as my secondary SIM with the phone. By the way, the Z Fold 6 offers excellent 5G speeds, and that wasn't really a surprise considering there was an Ookla report which said that the Samsung Galaxy S24 actually does offer faster 5G speeds compared to the iPhone. So yeah, Samsung's mobile network performance is generally dependable. The other thing is that the earpiece gets so loud and crystal clear that people right next to you can hear your conversation, so I had to reduce the volume down. Alright, now coming to the point where Samsung is actually crushing it, and it is the software experience. Not just on this phone, but on any phone that they've been releasing lately. So you get One UI 6.1.1 based on Android 14, and Samsung is promising 7 years of software updates and 7 years of security updates as well. And when you pair that with the reduced cost of the internal components, that's great, because a replacement for a display now actually costs lower than the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, which is awesome. Plus, the software experience has been ground up tuned for foldables, which is excellent. For example, I love multitasking on foldables, so it's not just a split screen, you can actually have a 3-way split as well and have multiple floating windows on top of it. But the real game changer is the fact that you get Galaxy AI for foldables, and there are some new foldable specific AI features as well. For example, Samsung's default keyboard now has a composer feature, and all you need to do is just to give it a prompt, a basic prompt, and it'll give you a nice typed out tweet or an email that you want to send out in a jiffy. And the new Interpreter's special conversation mode leverages the outer cover display to showcase what's being translated on the cover display itself. And you know what? The usefulness of this feature is definitely evident when you travel abroad. Of course, I can't speak any Italian apart from bonjour, and whenever I wanted to order any food, this feature did come in handy. Voice translations can now be translated to other languages, and they can also be summarized. You can even summarize and translate long PDFs now. And you know, it's actually going beyond the basic Notes Assist feature. Considering you get S Pen for Fold, there's a new Galaxy AI feature specifically for the Galaxy Z Fold 6, and it's called Sketch to Image. Now this is so much fun. It converts any amateur drawing into works of art. I know, because I'm terrible at drawing. Taking that fun even further is that you can actually sketch inanimate objects or, animals or whatever you want to on images that you've shot as well. Like how I sketched this aircraft right above the statue of Leonardo da Vinci. For anyone that spotted the relation there, let me know in the comment section below. There are a few more useful features. For example, Circle to Search can now solve math problems as well. Portrait Studio is really nice because it lets you create portrait cartoons and sketches and more. And now when you long press any regular video to turn it into a slow motion video, you can directly save it too. You can also create live images of many photos in your gallery. It does look pretty cool. So yeah, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 is definitely a beast when it comes to software and AI performance. Now, the one area where Samsung hasn't moved the needle much are the cameras. You get the same 5 cameras. Basically, on the rear, you get the 50MP primary, 12MP ultra-wide, and 10MP 3x telephoto. And you get a 10MP selfie camera on the outer screen and a 4MP one on the inner screen, which is an under-display one, by the way. The primary camera captures very good details still, which is good. You also get good target exposure and nice punchy colors in daylight without going overboard. In fact, the HDR performance is pretty good. It looks particularly impressive here. Very flagship quality picture if you look at it. I got some improved low-light shots as well. Samsung's tuning brings out a lot of detail, and the HDR performance is great once again. The skin tones are slightly off target when you're shooting people, but they do look pleasing to the eyes, so they're social media ready. Now, portraits with 3x have great edge detection and blur as well. But the problem with the 3x is that it's an old sensor and it's showing its age in terms of detail retention. And this is how the low-light 3x shots look. Let me know what you guys think. The ultrawide is impressive in daylight, but the HDR performance is not as good as the primary. Selfies from the 10MP cover display camera are pretty good. I like it. And while the under display camera on the internal screen is novel, it takes selfies that look slightly hazy sometimes. In any case, you can just use the primary camera as a selfie shooter by using the cover screen as your viewfinder. And those look so good. You also get 4K 60fps video recording from all the cameras and 8K 30fps using the primary camera. I like the quality of Samsung's video. See, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 does take good shots, but that's when you take a look at the phone and the cameras in isolation. So the thing that I consistently noticed while using the Galaxy Z Fold 6 is that people are still curious about Samsung Galaxy foldables, at least in Milan, because they're well aware of the fact that Samsung has launched a new foldable phone. And the reason for that is it's one thing to make foldable hardware, but to actually make it available to a global audience and have global availability, only Samsung's been able to achieve that really well till now. And the Galaxy AI tweaks on this phone is where the real upgrades for the Galaxy Z Fold 6 lies. It's the year of introducing AI to smartphones, and Samsung just wants to be ahead of the curve, I think. By the way, if you're considering buying the Galaxy Z Fold 6, there are a bunch of offers and they should be popping up on your screen right now. Do check them out. So what do you guys think of the direction that Samsung has taken with the Galaxy Z Fold 6, where AI is the biggest talking point? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll definitely read all of them and try to respond to some of them at least. Alright, that's it from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.